Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline.net has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. This was arguably one of the best games for the New Jersey Devils this season because of what it meant to the Vegas Golden Knights and the overall untapped potential that the Devils have on their roster and the determination that they showed. So goes back to my point in the previous episode, which is I don't want to see the New Jersey Devils tank and try to improve their draft position. I think they have so much potential that is untapped and they can take it to another level. There's a lot to talk about in today's episode, so buckle up, everybody.
You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, this is Bryce Salvador, and you're Locked On Devils with Trey Matthews.
Stepped up, nailed it. Brodor's got the puck. What a shot. The Devils win the Stanley Cup.
Alrighty now, what is up, New Jersey? Welcome back to the Locked On Devils podcast here on the Locked On Network. I'm your host, college hockey play-by-play announcer, and also Devils writer for Pucks and Pitchforks, Trey Matthews. And can I just say, I am so glad that Western road trip games are now officially over. No more 10 p.m. starts, no more me recording late night episodes, no more me investing in so many Built Bars so that way I can stay awake. I am so glad that Western road trips are now over for the New Jersey Devils. We can finally get back to Eastern time starts, and I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of watching the New Jersey Devils play at 10 p.m. Eastern time as well, because once the game is over, I think it's safe to say that it is past all of our bedtime. So I am so glad that the New Jersey Devils are finally getting back to the East Coast and we get back to Eastern Standard Time. Now, here's the thing, guys. If I had to describe one word for that game against the Vegas Golden Knights, it would be chaos. That game was absolutely chaotic between the Golden Knights and the Devils, and you guys can't deny how good that game was. You just can't deny it because the Devils went into Sin City with a 3-2 victory. Bastian, Janssen, and Boquist all scored for the Devils, and Hammond had his best game in between the pipes for us as well. And the Devils have racked up a point in 4 of their last 5 games. And if you guys recall, we've been on the road for nearly 2 weeks now. So out of our 5 road games during this 2-week span, we were able to rack up a point in 4 of them, because if you guys recall, we lost in a shootout to the Seattle Kraken, so we were only able to walk away with a point. But against the Stars, Coyotes, and Golden Knights, we were able to get 2 points. And then we lost to the Colorado Avalanche, but still, it was a pretty hard-fought battle. Now, here's the thing, guys. This goes back into my previous episode as to what I said in regards to the New Jersey Devils winning to end the season. And I still stand by that because I want the Devils to win and end the season on a high note, just for the sake of morale and just for the sake of just realizing our true potential, because I'm tired of tanking. I'm tired of seeing the Devils lose to try to improve their draft position. I think we're kind of past that, if that makes sense. I've said it so many times on this show, but I just feel as though the Devils are finally able to reach a point in their overall growth and development that they can start to finally come to the realization that, hey, they actually have a decent amount of players on their roster and they have so much untapped potential that we don't need to continue to tank in order to improve our draft position. So I feel as though the Devils just winning and doing what they did to the Vegas Golden Knights, which I will explain momentarily, it just does so much wonders for their morale and just moving forward. So once again, I still stand by my statement that I said in the previous episode, which is I do not want the New Jersey Devils to tank. I don't want us to lose the rest of the games. I don't want us to just put up a half-ass effort. I really want the New Jersey Devils to try to win as many games as they can before our season comes to an official end. Now, here's the thing. The Devils these last couple of weeks during this road trip, they have been playing playoff crusher. They did the same thing to the Dallas Stars as they did to the Vegas Golden Knights in last night's game, which is these are middle-of-the-pack teams looking to punch their tickets to the playoffs, and the New Jersey Devils just made it all the more difficult for not only the Vegas Golden Knights, but also for the Dallas Stars to begin this road trip. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, basically, the Vegas Golden Knights are going to have to win out the rest of their games if they want any chance of making it to the playoffs, and they probably viewed the New Jersey Devils as easy picking, same as the Dallas Stars, because quite honestly, guys, I was writing us off against the Stars and also the Vegas Golden Knights. I said this Western road trip is going to be somewhat difficult for the New Jersey Devils, but they've been able to prove me wrong, and they went into Sin City once again, and they played their hearts out. And quite honestly, this was arguably one of the best games that I've seen this season for New Jersey Devils. I know that's kind of a controversial take, especially since we have a depleted team right now. But if you think about it, think at what was at stake for the Vegas Golden Knights, and look at us. We literally have nothing to lose. So we didn't have to put up that overall great effort. Then you look at Andrew Hammond. We've been, crapping on him on this show. We've been crapping on him on social media. We basically have been saying this whole Andrew Hammond experiment has been a fail so far. We've been ridiculing the front office. We've been saying, where's the Hamburglar when you need him? But overall, Andrew Hammond was able to have a big performance in between the pipes for the New Jersey Devils, and he was the reason why the New Jersey Devils were able to walk away with the victory. Because if you've seen some of those plays, look at the highlight reel. Look at the amount of high danger opportunities that the Vegas Golden Knights had, especially in period number 2, because the Vegas Golden Knights, quite honestly, I'm surprised that they were only able to walk away with 1 goal after the second period, because that second period was absolutely atrocious for the New Jersey Devils. And quite honestly, that goal by the Vegas Golden Knights was a fluke goal because it went off the skate of PK Subban. So that was just bad luck. Nothing that Andrew Hammond could do on that one. That's just an unfortunate redirect at the hands of his own teammates. So there was really nothing Andrew Hammond could do on that possession once again. But at the same time, it's just like Vegas was only able to walk away with a fluke goal after period number 2, mainly because he was able to stand on his head and he was able to just, absolutely stymie the attack from the Vegas Golden Knights. Or if you look 6 minutes into period number 3, it was absolute bedlam on the blue paint. It was absolute chaos. Once again, going back to that adjective to describe this overall game, chaos in front of Andrew Hammond. And he was able to just put a stop to the Vegas Golden Knights like 6 minutes into period number 3, because I was just on the edge of my seat. I was like, no, Vegas is about to score. Vegas is about to score. Wait, they didn't? So, like I said, this was an absolute great performance from Andrew Hammond. And like I said moments ago, look at what was at stake for the Vegas Golden Knights, and then look at what Boquist was able to do, because we'll talk about Boquist's goal later on in this episode. That was impressive, and it raises the question, should Boquist and Ball be on the roster next year for the New Jersey Devils? I'll talk about that towards the end of the episode. But overall, it's one of the reasons that I said the New Jersey Devils need to keep on winning, because look at the overall determination that they have been demonstrating these last couple weeks during this Western road trip. And look at someone like Andrew Hammond, who was able to have his best game up to date in a Devils uniform. Then you look at the untapped potential in Kevin Ball and also Jesper Boquist, because quite honestly, I didn't really expect too much from Kevin Ball, and I definitely did not expect too much from Jesper Boquist at the beginning of the year. I thought that Boquist was on borrowed time. I thought that maybe he'll be waived come January, but he has proven me wrong. So overall, the Devils have been playing playoff crusher during these last couple of weeks to the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. And the overall takeaway that I saw from this game was that the Devils were just determined to come away with the victory. They looked like that they were the ones just hungry for a playoff position. You look at Andrew Hammond just trying to prove everyone wrong, because I know I've sounded off on him on this show before, saying that the overall Hamburglar experiment has failed. And then once again, Nico Dawes is going to have to play Superman and just have to limp the Devils over to the finish line. And quite honestly, speaking of limping to the finish line, I said after Jack Hughes got hurt, I said I would be surprised if the New Jersey Devils are able to walk away with, 4 wins. And during this road trip, once again, guys, they were able to get 3 wins. They were able to get a point in the Kraken game, and then they lost to the Avalanche. So far, just to put this into perspective, there's 6 games remaining on the schedule for the New Jersey Devils. And if I had to look ahead, I would say, look at the Sabres, middle of the pack team once again. And I feel as though that's a game that we can definitely have. And then, we got the Red Wings, and then we got the Senators. So I feel as though the Devils have a good chance of proving me wrong once again, which is I thought the Devils would just be limping over the finish line with the loss of Jack Hughes. And I just said this is going to be a long race to the finish. But right now they're making it more entertaining as the season starts to wind down, because right now we have 6 games remaining on the season, like I said moments ago. So overall, the Devils are making this more fun. They're making this entertaining, and that's what I like to see. I just want to see the Devils continue to have games like they had against the Vegas Golden Knights, or if they're going to lose a game, lose it putting up a valiant effort. Like, I'm a former baseball player. The one thing that my coach always told me was that if you're going to go down striking out, make sure you go down swinging. Don't go down looking. So, that game against the Montreal Canadiens, in which we lost 7-4, or that game against the Florida Panthers, the Boston Bruins, we went down looking hard, because it was just like those games were just so hard to watch that I had to turn off my TV, quite honestly. But against the Colorado Avalanche, I knew the Devils didn't really have much of a chance to win against one of the hottest teams in the NHL, because coming into that game, the Avalanche were on I believe either a 6 or 7 game win streak, and they were able to extend it. And then I was just like, I'd be surprised if they were able to walk away with the victory, and especially without Jack Hughes and a few others. I just said there's little to no chance that they're able to pull it off. But they were able to put up a valiant effort despite being on the losing end. So it wasn't one of those bad games for New Jersey Devils. And this game against the Vegas Golden Knights, once again, now the Golden Knights are going to have to essentially win out if they want any chance of making it to the playoffs. So I love that from the Devils. Like, keep on being the villains. Keep on being, the overall crushers of playoff dreams, because, you want a playoff team. You want your buddies on the other opposing rosters to join you in Cancun. So before I talk more of this game in general, before I talk about Jesper Boquist's awesome goal and his revenge tour, it is time for the first live read this morning, and it comes from a product that I literally use every day. So I started taking AG1 because I wanted to be happier, I wanted to be healthier. My body's a temple, so I gotta start treating it like one. Also, I needed some energy to take on the day, because quite honestly, guys, I've been needing some energy the last couple of weeks, because let's face it, the Devils have been playing on the West, and sometimes doing these games so late at night can take a lot out of you. So I needed something to help me take on the day the very next morning, and also I have trouble sleeping at night as we speak. So what is this stuff? Well, with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all these things. So, like I said, the one thing about Athletic Greens is that it's a lifestyle that's friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. Contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good. Supports better sleep quality and recovery, supports mental clarity and alertness. It's one of the things that it makes it so good. Athletic Greens uses the best of the best products based on the latest science, with constant product iterations and third-party testing. So once again, AG1 is amazing. So right now it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. The overall process is simple. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NHL Network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/NHL Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. And now, this second live read comes from our friends at BetOnline.net. So BetOnline.net is your #1 source for all your sport betting needs and info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs and the start of the MLB season. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sport wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Please remember to gamble responsibly and visit our friends at Locked On Bets for all your betting needs there as well. Okay, so my overall opinions on this game is, like I said at the beginning of this episode, which was it was absolute chaos. And, the New Jersey Devils were just playing like they had something to prove. And it goes back to my overall assessment that I said earlier, which is I love this overall effort from the New Jersey Devils. It's one of the things that I've been loving on this recent road trip, which is the Devils are just playing like they have something to prove. And like I said, guys, we're able to see so many guys just shine and just see that untapped potential that we have. And it brings up the overall question, because I've seen Devils Twitter popping during the course of this game, coming from my guy Jersey Joe. He said, do you put Kevin Ball and do you also put Jesper Boquist on the roster next season for the New Jersey Devils? Now, that is a very interesting question, and in this game, Kevin Ball was able to keep possessions alive for the New Jersey Devils. You just saw him at the top of the point, just able to keep the puck in the O zone for the New Jersey Devils. And, it was one of the factors that had the New Jersey Devils score and just basically keep the game within their control. So it does bring up that interesting question, which is, do you keep Kevin Ball on the roster next season? Like, does he begin the season next year on the New Jersey Devils roster? And my overall assessment is, I really don't know. And the same goes for Jesper Boquist, because let's face it, guys, I was really hard on Jesper Boquist before the season even started. I said that he has no business being on the New Jersey Devils roster. I said that, he doesn't belong in the AHL. He doesn't belong in the NHL. I think it's in the New Jersey Devils' best interest to release him. And I just want to say I take everything I said about Jesper Boquist before the season even started or during the early parts of the season. I want to take what I said back. But overall, Jesper Boquist has been on a revenge tour, and, I got to give credit when credit is due. Jesper Boquist is definitely putting in the work, and he is putting in the effort, because in 50 game appearances, he has 9 goals, 11 assists for a grand total of 20 points and a plus-minus of -2. And, he is putting up that overall work and effort, and like my colleagues at Pucks and Pitchforks best described it as, he's on a revenge tour because he has career highs in all categories, games played, goals, assists, points. Overall, he's just been, just playing really well for New Jersey Devils, and he really capitalized on the moment when it was given to him, because on one of his goals, he sliced and diced through a couple of Vegas Golden Knights players. And I think it's safe to say that our jaws were on the floor. Our eyes were wide open. We were just like, did Jesper Boquist do that veteran move like he was in the running for the Hart Memorial Trophy? Did he seriously do that like he was in the running for the Art Ross Trophy? Like, seriously, like, I was in disbelief myself, because I was just like, Jesper Boquist, he did not just do that move. Like, no one knew that he actually scored it, because the broadcasters didn't know. I didn't know he scored it. I think some of you at home didn't know he scored it. And I was just like, okay, Jesper Boquist, I see you making that great move. That was pretty impressive, kid. And here's the thing. Leonard didn't even know that he got scored on, because he stood there like a statue. He did what Nico Dawes would usually do in that circumstance, which is he was in the right position to try to make the save, but he lost sight of the puck, and it was in the back of the net, and Leonard just literally, like, it took him a while to realize that Boquist actually scored that puck on him. So ultimately, that was, gets the debate going. Like, should Boquist be on the team next year for New Jersey Devils? I think Boquist is kind of like punching his ticket to join the Devils roster next year. But as for Kevin Ball, I'm a little iffy on that, but we'll see what happens in training camp, and I'll talk about that momentarily. But first, it is time for the third and final live read this morning, and it comes from our friends at Built Bar. So Built Bar has so many delicious flavors. Have you ever tried the Puffs? If you haven't, you're missing out on one of Built Bar's best tasting protein bars. Puffs are the first ever protein infused marshmallow. They're fluffy, they're marshmallowy. They're not just a protein bar, they're a treat, and they're covered in 100% real chocolate. Puffs are a fan favorite with some incredible flavors: yummy cinnamon churro, coconut marshmallow, banana cream pie. So good. These flavors are going to be your new favorite. All Built Bars are covered in 100% real chocolate. Yes, Puffs included. 100% real chocolate. Low calorie, high protein. Replace your candy bars with these. They are better. A typical candy bar can be anywhere from 200 to 300 calories. Go to Built.com and scroll down to the macros chart, and you'll be blown away. Most Built Bars contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. Compare that to a candy bar once again, and the difference is night and day. Built Bar has so many delicious flavors like mint brownie, coconut almond, and new this month, white chocolate cookies and cream. They have all flavors that are delicious and coming out all the time. If you think a flavor might be good, they'll make it, and it'll be delicious, and it'll be good for you. So the offer is, go to Built.com, use promo code LOCKED15, you'll get 50% off your order. Again, use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. So when looking at this game for the New Jersey Devils and looking at their overall effort, I think the main takeaway is that, it was chaos first and foremost, but the second thing is that they just have so much untapped potential. And going back to the point that I was making before I did the live read, which was, should Kevin Ball and also Jesper Boquist make the roster for the Devils next year? And I think it's just like, I would have to see what they do on a fully healthy roster. Now, that's not fair to Jesper Boquist, considering the fact that he was on the Devils roster at one point when we were, full strength at one point. So I don't think that's a fair assessment for him. But for Kevin Ball, I think that's a fair assessment, just because I got to see what Kevin Ball does with other people around him, because keep in mind, we're missing a lot of key guys. We're missing Jack Hughes, we're missing Jonas Siegenthaler, we're missing Miles Wood, we're still missing Ryan Graves due to him taking that skate to the chin a couple games ago. So, overall, it's just like I just got to see what like Kevin Ball can do on the roster at full strength, and can he do it consistently. But he is making big moves, which is, like I said, him able to keep some offensive possessions alive for New Jersey Devils, him able to bat some pucks away and be that shot suppressor that he was, prone to be, because that's one of the things I was talking about last year about Kevin Ball when he was brought up to the roster, which was he did a good job of just suppressing shots and just, asserting himself on the defensive side of things for the Devils. But the thing is, like, there's a lot of good prospects in the Utica Comets organization, and there's a lot of good players that the Devils also need to give a fair look at come training camp, come the preseason. So, Jesper Boquist and Kevin Ball are definitely, making cases for themselves. But for me to say that, will they make the roster 100%? That's an interesting talking point, yes. But at the same time, I got to see what, other players are potentially capable of doing, because one of the players that will definitely be ahead of them is someone like Alexander Holtz. And Shakir Mukhamadullin signed his entry-level deal a while ago. And, at the beginning of the year, I was saying, could he be the next Chara? Could he be the next Big Z for the Devils organization? He didn't finish off his KHL season on the right note, but that's still a player that you need to give a fair look at come training camp, just to see would he be, good on the defensive side of things for the New Jersey Devils. So once again, Kevin Ball and Jesper Boquist are definitely making cases for themselves, and they're one of the reasons why the Devils have been so entertaining these last couple weeks. And also Zetterlund able to get his first career goal against the Coyotes. That was also nice to see. So I'm loving the untapped potential. I'm loving the young guys' overall contribution on the roster, but I don't think it's fair to say that they have made the roster quite yet, because it is an interesting talking point, and it is something that I will consider when we get closer and closer to next season. But at the same time, I just feel as though there's just so many players that, are on the same level as them or ahead of them in terms of just overall ranking, that I just got to wait and see what happens in the training camp. I got to see what happens in preseason. So once again, they got to consider the fact that you got Alexander Holtz, and then you got Shakir Mukhamadullin. You got a few other players who are definitely going to try to make an impact and try to make the roster right away. So once again, two great players right now for the Devils. Boquist has proven me wrong this season. He had a great goal against the Vegas Golden Knights, absolutely able to statue Leonard and, make him look silly. And overall, he definitely got us excited for this game. And then Kevin Ball making the big plays as well, and just, making a few veteran moves himself. But at the same time, there's still a lot of players that I want to look at before I make that overall assessment. But overall, great effort from the New Jersey Devils. It was just a great team win from the Devils in general, because, like I said, they literally have nothing to lose. This game means nothing to them, but it means a whole lot more to the Vegas Golden Knights. And just seeing some of the players who scored, like Nathan Bastian, Janssen, Boquist, and seeing Hammond have that game, because the reason why the New Jersey Devils were able to win that game was because of Hammond and what he was able to do in the second period, and just absolutely stop the Vegas Golden Knights in their tracks. And, look at the high danger shots, look at some of these good shot opportunities. Look 6 minutes into the period number 3 when it was absolute bedlam in front of the crease, and everything looked like it was about to go to hell. But you saw that Hammond was able to stand tall and just absolutely stop the Vegas Golden Knights, because when I'm about to compare the stats, and the difference is night and day in the shots on goal category. So shots on goal between the Knights and the Devils, 44-28 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights, and they came out on the losing end. And when we're looking in the second period, Vegas had 16 shots on goal, whereas the Devils had 6. That is all Andrew Hammond. And once again, the first goal of the game scored by the Vegas Golden Knights was a fluke goal that just went off the skate of PK Subban. So you can't really blame Hammond on that sort of circumstance. So, like I said, it was a great effort from Andrew Hammond. And quite honestly, like I said, that first goal of the game for the Vegas Golden Knights, fluke goal, went off the skate. And then when they were able to get their second goal of the game, that was when they had the extra skater and they pulled Leonard from the game. So, they had an empty net. So I'm just saying, like, when you put those factors in consideration, Hammond could have essentially had a shutout, had, Vegas not pulled their goalie to get the empty net and just try to get the extra attacker on. And then you got that goal that went off the skate of PK Subban. So quite honestly, Andrew Hammond played one hell of a game. So shots on goal differential, 44-28 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. Astonishing. Face-off percentage, 51% to 49% in favor of the Golden Knights. Power play, both teams were 0 for 1. Devils got to get better at their power play opportunities. Hits, 41-26 in favor of the Devils. Blocks, 24-16 in favor of the Devils. Giveaways, the Devils led that department 9-6. Overall, I don't think the Devils had any business of winning this game. The Vegas Golden Knights definitely played hungry. They said this at the beginning of the broadcast, which was, this was a point made by Dano, which was that the Vegas Golden Knights are going to be playing aggressively. They're going to be playing hungry, and the Devils are going to have to pay close attention to detail because one wrong move and Vegas is going to capitalize on it. So if you were in Sin City, if you bet on the Vegas Golden Knights, I'm really sorry, but now it's going to be so much harder for the Vegas Golden Knights to get back into the playoffs. So once again, I'm all for the Devils just playing villains this time around. So if I had to rate this game for the Devils, I think you guys get where I'm going with this. This was one of the best games of the year for the Devils just because of what it meant to Vegas. The fact that we were able to reach so much untapped potential. We were depleted. We're missing a lot of key guys. And overall, like I said, we had no business of winning this game. And despite us giving up 44 shots on goal, Hammond was able to stand tall and just put up that valiant effort and just stop the Knights in their tracks. So this game, A+ for the Devils because they took the lead. They maintained the lead. It got tied at one point, but they were able to score 2 unanswered goals in period number 3. And like I said, the 2 goals that they let up, one was a redirect off the skate of PK Subban, and the other just the extra attacker for the Vegas Golden Knights. And that can happen. And, you saw Andrew Hammond make a few key saves. So once again, if I had to rate this game for the Devils, one of the best games of the year, bar none, A+. Argue with me. Like, seriously, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what you guys think. Did you think this was one of the best games of the year for the Devils? I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts, so hit me up on my personal Twitter page at TreyMatt4. Hit up the show's Twitter page at Locked On Devils. As for today's episode, that's all the time I have for you guys today, so continue to stay safe. Have a wonderful day, New Jersey. Go Devils, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for listening once again.